my gosh. Abby and I were just saying that even though we've always said time seems to be going fast, it seems to be going faster.
Just evaporating.
Yeah, and I think, sorry, I'm definitely doing allergies today, so I've got my Kleenex. Yeah, just thinking about what does it mean to manage the speed of everything in our lives, everything going fast, everything going by fast. We're supposed to be fast.
Yeah.
We have to answer every email and every text and every communication quickly. Or, I mean, if I don't answer a text, somebody will say, you didn't answer my text within 5 minutes. It's like, wait a minute, maybe I was like getting a drink of water. So just speed and stress and pressure and moving. And so I was thinking about what do we do to calm down from that, to find our, and when we get triggered, how can we come back to our alignment with love and with the universal deeper knowing, the goodness of all, so to speak. So I thought we might play in our fluids a little bit this morning.
That sounds great.
Because Abby and I love that. And this is about flow. It's about, can you actually find that ease and flow in the course of your day? And I don't think we can stay in it all the time because there's just too much triggering us all the time. But we can certainly have consciousness and go, okay, I feel it. I feel myself heading into the contraction, the tension, the judgment, a poor connection here, so I don't know what you're getting, but it's all right. So yeah, just coming back to what does it mean to live in the fluids of our body. So by some measurements, we are 90% fluid. Isn't that crazy? But certainly 80%. And all of the ways in which those fluids unconditionally love us. So the blood is going all the time, whether I tell it to or not, And the fluids and the synovial fluids and the brain fluids, all these things that are running through our body, they're lubricating our whole system all the time, loving us, fixing us, helping us, nurturing us. And we don't have to say, okay, fluids flow. They just flow. They know. The body has all that wisdom of how to stay with the rivers, stay with the oceans, stay with the lake, the quiet of the lake, whatever, right? So yeah, if you are quiet and sitting, you can do this in your mind, you can do it in your chair. I have this wonderful friend who does this mostly laying down. Easy to get your fluids flowing. They will listen to you. They will respond to you. But if you want to stand up, and Abby will do that for you, then you can actually just get going, get your whole fluid system moving. So one way to do that is let's just begin with some nice, gentle breaths, a little bit deep, but not like trying too hard. Just just kind of sighing and a nice little breath that just kind of coming home, what my daughter calls arriving in your body. So I've been doing all this stuff all morning long. Now I'm just going to come home to my body, and just surround my body with a little love and appreciation. It's always doing so much for me without me asking. Sometimes it's not doing what I want to, and that needs love as well, right? Yeah. And then I want you just to begin to feel the sense of being water on land. And one way to do that is let the muscles release, let the bones soften, and just feel yourself as a fluid, flowing, amoeba-like being. You can move like that, or everything is fluid behind your eyes, fluid in your neck, fluid in your spine, in your knees, in your fingertips. Just letting everything be watery and flowing. Finding a reference point for when the tension comes. I'm going to flow, back to flow. Yeah. And maybe for you, you want to actually imagine that you're a wave, or imagine you're floating in the waters of a lake, or maybe you've got lots of energy and you're flowing with the Russian River and joy, the rushing river and joy. What body of water, what 6 million year old liquid system on the earth is calling you? Releasing, flowing, softening, no bones, no muscles, all Raggedy Ann, just fluidity. There's even a book about being water on land. So what if you imagine you're just flowing on the earth like a river, like a stream, flowing from one moment to the next, just flowing through life, yeah? And the river hits a rock or a bit of land or some little disruption, and it just finds its way around, stops it for a minute, but it flows around the edges, or it flows underneath, or it goes right over the top, yeah? Just a river flowing through life. You can ride that river. You can become that river. What if we are actually swimming in the river we're in, as opposed to trying to get out of it or create a different river? I'm just going to be in this flowing, fluid space. And maybe you want to feel the warmth of a warm, watery womb around your body as you're playing in your fluids, and just feel that total release, floating free. You might even be out of gravity as you do this, if that feels good to you, and you're just in that womb, the womb of the Great Mother, and there's nothing restricting you at all. You're limitless, floating free in that womb of water. Releasing all contraction in the body, in the heart, in the psyche, in the spirit, in the psychology, right? And just letting your hands, as always that we do, bring your hands to your heart to close this little fluid exploration, this fluidity moment. Breathe in through your heart and out through your heart, and just land. Land in that gentle, peaceful, fluidity energy, where everything is always moving and changing and shifting, and I'm just swimming along with it. And you might even ask your heart while you're there if there's any guidance it has for flowing through your week ahead. What might help you flow through your week? What does your heart have to say? The heart answers in a couple words and fairly quickly, so yeah. There it is. And just before we come back together, just rest one little tiny bit deeper. Just restoring your whole being as you start this week ahead. Yeah, and slowly letting your eyes blink open as you come back into the room.
Thank you. Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you, Abby. Yeah. I think I had some residual stress from my weekend that I didn't know I had brought into the morning.
Yeah.
So it was nice to be with you all and let that go. And maybe it's Wednesday for you, or maybe it's Saturday. There's still a week ahead. And to just play with what does it mean when I get triggered, to actually visualize the fluids flowing through my body as a ritual of well-being, as a way to restore and let my body release into those fluids. And I love to think of it as swimming in the river I'm in, because most of my life I was trying to get out of that river, be a different woman or a different body or a different story, or be a good girl or do what I was supposed to do or be successful or be the perfect mom or whatever it was. That's all out of the river, right? The perfect anything. You can put perfect in front of anything, and I've been there. So yeah, I guess that's a little of what, in terms of my story, Abby, of what I brought in this morning was just wanting to be more, wanting to be better, wanting to be everything I needed to be for everybody. And it only takes the tiniest bit of criticism from somebody for me to actually go right to that correction of me, fixing of me, making me better, right? So yesterday I got an email that had a little passive criticism in it, and I started to tighten around it, and then I just let go, and I literally visualized flowing in the waters. I visualized my whole fluid system bathing me. I felt my blood moving. I felt the fluid in my bones and in my joints and in my head. It was just incredible. Sometimes I try to do that and it doesn't happen. But it was right there. And it was like it just went right by me, like Aikido, where you step out of the way and just let it go by. You know, the fluids just restored me. And then I had a very creative response. And, you know, it was like, okay, I just need to really, really come home to what it is that nurtures me and allow that. And if that is sitting on the deck looking at the clouds, then that's what it is. You know?
Beautiful, yeah.
It does not have to be any major thing, right?
Yeah.
So, So, how about you, Abby? Tell us a get back in the flow story.
I had an experience this past week where I went to this ceremony that's outside of kind of my culture, what I would normally go to. And I was going there to support a loved one. And I remember sitting there and the ceremony's going on, and there's one piece that I remember instantly getting triggered, and I felt my body just tighten up, and I felt myself kind of like scoot back in the chair, and I went
Yeah,
rigid.
yeah, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I was
isn't it?
like, whoo, and it was so quick and so fast, right, that it just really took me. And so I sat there, and another exercise we do in turning the wheel. Maybe we'll have to do it for a Monday morning, yes. But I thought of this is you, this is me.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's another great way for moving of the fluids, because that's what I thought of. This is you, this is me, right? And that helped get my fluids moving. And I kept doing that. And where I eventually landed was that, yes, this is you. Yes, this is me. I'm here to support and show up for my loved one. And I'm so glad I did show up for my loved one and be there to support them. And all is well. All is good. And so that's where I really landed. And it was a really interesting and good experience for me to play with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a great story in this time we're in, where there's
Yeah.
this is you, this is me, right? But there's so much going on that just won't land for us, you know. So I love that, and I love what you said about just sitting with it and then beginning to loop, you know, so that it began to flow. And then you came back to, what am I here for?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
And I think the other place where I came to with that is I started appreciating myself for doing that, for getting triggered, realized why I was triggered, for doing the work, right? So then I started really appreciating myself, and then I was appreciating my loved ones, right? So it was a great ripple effect.
Oh, that is so wise, Abby. Because even though I know we're out of time, just to add Abby's wisdom in, one of the easiest ways to get in your fluids is to appreciate yourself. The minute you just go, what needs loving here? What is good and true and beautiful about me? The fluids start to flow.
Yeah.
So that's an easy tool. If you're triggered and just wait. What needs loving here? This is not about them. This is something in me that needs a little love, right? And don't get me wrong, our flow doesn't mean we don't take action. We don't show up to marches. We don't write our letters. We don't do what we can do in our own communities to have impact and to take care of people and all that local level. The question is, do I show up in flow, in love, in ease, or do I show up trying really hard and stressed, right? Which just doesn't do it in the long run. So, because the stress will wear us out,
Every time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
for
so
listening.
much.
Mwah.
Mwah.
And we'll see you next week. Take good care in the week ahead. We need to really come to our fluids and nourish ourselves in this time where it is just challenging to even take a breath some days. So take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Love you.